Hi, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snow. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions. And we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. Hey, look, we're celebrating Mother's Day weekend. And let me tell you what, first of all, I'd like to start out with a happy birthday wish to my youngest daughter, Tahita Snowell. It's her birthday was yesterday, but since we're on there, we're going to give her a happy birthday wish today. And we want to say happy birthday, Tahita, for you and Marcus and your family. Happy birthday. Boy, you're moving up the line. 38 years, boy. Whoo, that's my youngest daughter, Tahita Snowell. And also, all of it with Mother's Day weekend this weekend, uh, um, we'd like to say to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day for all the hard work you do for your husbands, boyfriends, and all of that. Um, a mother is endeared to the human being's heart, is the mother who makes the future for the human being. She's the first teacher that we know is your mother. She teaches us everything. So our hats and prayers go out to each and every mother out there. And also, Michelle Harris, we want to say happy Mother's Day to you, special for all the great things that you do as a mother, and also for me. It's greatly appreciated in how you endure being a mother, working professionally, and all of the great things you do for me. I want to say happy Mother's Day also to you. So let's move on here. What's happening in boxing? Um, as you well know, and we're repeating it, it looks like Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford are going to meet, which are well weighted matchup for September 12th. Canelo Alvarez just coming off a 12 round unanimous decision over IBF champion to remain pound for pound the best fighter in the world and to remain one of the undisputed champions in boxing to set up this great matchup. You know, it was a distance fight, and most people don't want to see fights go distance. They scream for the knockout, but you have to look at strategic fights and how what does that mean? Like in New York and Times Square, you've seen those three pay-per-view fights that were on the zone with Rowley and Garcia and Devin Haney and Lopez. They displayed what is known as technical fighting. Uh, we'll jump right into Devin Haney with his fight. You know, people were complaining about his movement and how he didn't sit there and fight. Well, the question is, and I want you to look at this viewpoint. If you know you're in the ring with a puncher and you studied tapes of this guy and you know that he has to have his feet planted solid to the canvas in order to get his shots off, and he can't step and punch to cut the ring off, uh, you know, um, why would you want to stand there and slug with a guy who can punch and you know that you're not a devastating puncher yourself, so why would you do that? I think what Devin Haney did was something was a technical fight. He didn't stay there. He moved craftfully around the ring, as we know it as stick and move in and out. When the guy gets close to you, tie him up, take him for a walk, do the cha cha cha. And we've seen all of that. It's not happy. A lot of times people want to see a fight, but you have to do a technical fight sometimes that you may not want to do, but you got to do it in order to win. And I think that Devin Haney did that in order to win and not get hit with no big bomb shots sitting there trying to bang a guy out to prove a point. He proved a point. He beat him. Hey, we'll take this. A win is a win. And you move on in boxing. That's how it is, you know. And uh, as time looks back, people are going to say, well, he did win. If he would have stayed there and fought, what if he got caught and got knocked out? Well, that would be another story. However, he didn't. He went on and he boxed and he won. You seen Talavia Lopez in his fight. He did the same thing. He was at times showing his skills by slipping, sliding, you know, in and out, fighting a little bit, not fighting a little bit. They're technical fights when you know guys can't do certain things to take advantage of you, what you're doing, and that's what he did in that fight. And I'm happy for them two guys doing it. But the upset of the night was Ryan Garcia getting knocked down, almost knocked out by Rolly. I think Ryan Garcia underestimated Rolly with his punching power, and he got hit with a left hook. You know, the old saying is you hook with a hooker, and that's what Rolly did when Ryan Garcia threw his hook. He countered him with a hook, and they're basic counter punches that you work with a guy who has a good left hook. And also, Rolly in the fight realized that the only way Devin Haney could get his left hook off if he was close to him. He could throw that kind of left hook that he likes to throw, where he puts a lot of velocity and speed and torque on it. He kept him at an arm's jab's length, where um, he doesn't know, Ryan Garcia don't know how to throw that kind of left hook that he could take advantage of it. So when he got hooked and went down, he got up, he was hurt. And it stunned him so bad, he went in a shell. He's trying to think to try to get his best favorite shot off the left hook, and he couldn't. And that comes, a lot of this is what you're seeing, inexperienced guys in big fights. You know, Rolly been in a couple big fights and lost, just like Ryan Garcia's been in big fights that he lost. But it looks like Rolly has learned some things in them big fights that he lost, and try to keep his composure and things like that without losing his composure, and then bring him a win. And a lot of people say, well, it was a stinking fight. It went the distance. I don't think so. You have to look at it for what it was. It was a technical fight on all three of those fights, and I'm glad to see that guys are honing in on different techniques to work with different styles, and what don't work with this style. Well, just instead of just going in the center of the ring throwing punches and trying to whack people out. And I all the time use this as an instance. Just say the NBA and the NFL. Sometimes they have a great build up to a championship game with two teams, and the Super Bowl ends up a stinker because of the two teams didn't perform, or one of the guys performed and the other team didn't perform. It makes like a real stinker letdown because the buildup was so high. And same way with the NBA, sometimes they have two teams, they build it up, and the game don't live up to that expectation. I think what happened here was similar the same way. You had huge, big expectations of something, but two of the guys won and one lost. So, and it was a major upset. So let's look at the major upset and let's take it for what it is. And we want to congratulate Rolly for going in there and giving it his best and pull up the upset win that he did. That's good within itself, and they don't want to talk about the upset win. They just want to talk about how dull the fight was. And, the things like that happen. And then on the other end, they seen over in Saudi Arabia the next night, the same type of thing was going on. Skull tried to use a technical fight with movement and all them, but Canelo Alvarez is a cagey veteran champion, a pound for pound fighter. He has learned how to cut the ring off, chop a guy down each round, and then at the end of the night, putting pressure on a guy, even though he's trying to fight you with a technical fight. You can pull off the win going forward. And that's what Canelo Alvarez did. And now it sets up a big fight with him and Crawford. And boy, is that big, because you're going to see boxing at its best with them two guys. A southpaw with Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez coming forward. And let's see the styles and how the adjustments going to be made in that fight in September. So also another big fight for women's boxing has been made. Carissa Shields and Daniels from down in New Zealand, who who is a heavyweight champion, and they're going to fight for the undisputed championships. Carissa Shields, the GOAT, won just a few months ago the heavyweight championship by a second round knockout. That fight is going to be that fight is going to be July 26th at Little Caesars Arena in Flint, Michigan. You know, with Carissa Shields 16-0 with 3 knockouts, who's 30 years old, and Daniels from New Zealand is the IBF female heavyweight champion, who's sporting a record of 11-2-2. And they're fighting in the stadium that are Little Caesar Arena with 19,000 fans. And this is Carissa Shields in her home town. This is her third time fighting there, and she's been selling it out, 19,000 fans strong. And I think it's going to remain the same, is that it's going to be a sellout then with Carissa Shields, the GOAT. And let's see if she can remain and keep that heavyweight championship of the world. I mean, the last time out fighting for the heavyweight championship, moving up in weight class, she made a clear, bold statement with a second round knockout. And let's see what happens this time in this match. Oh, we're going to take it to the Hall of Fames now. The boy last week in Indianapolis, Craig Hawk in the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, put on a great show of display of their inductees with Ray Mercer, James Lights Out Tony, Layman Brewster, who was heavyweight champion, Michael Spinks, Larry Donald, Tim Austin, Freddie Ladd, Cello, De Jesus, Escalera, Bobby Hicks, the IBF president. All of those guys were there for that great event for the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, and the Rochester Boxing Hall president, Larry Lazardi. He was also there. It looks like it was a fun night for the induction night. 2 days it was, and that auction looked to be spectacular that they had with the bidding of different signed championship belts that went for thousands of dollars. And hats off to those guys that bought them belts. And it's a monumental piece because it's at the Hall of Fame, and the people that signed it were there. They get a chance to take a picture with the guys who signed the belts, the former champions. So man, that's a great thing, and it looks like everyone enjoyed their time there with the food and drinks and atmosphere. So hats off to the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame for a great weekend. And also the National Boxing Hall of Fame with Linda Dempsey and Bill Dempsey Young. They had a magnificent national Boxing Hall of Fame with Larry Holmes, who was leading the class, and boy, was it star-studded at the national, too, with Larry Holmes and Henry Tillman. Henry Tillman is later on going to go in later on in the year in the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. But you had Ricardo Lopez, who's a fine world champion, Salvador Sanchez, a great Hispanic Mexican champion. He went in the Weaver triplets. They had been there. Mike Weaver, they're his brothers. They went in, man, and it was star-studded with all of those champions that showed up at that event. And congratulations to Bill and Linda Dempsey Young for hosting the National Boxing Hall of Fame. What a great event to attend. Okay, coming up also next month is the International Boxing Hall of Fame up there in upstate New York at Canastota, New York, June 5th through the 8th. We have the great Manny Pacquiao. Manny is going in up there, but Manny, man, there's so many rumors go around when you start doing things. Well, I'm making a comeback. Yeah, we all want to come back. But it looks like, he's going in along with Michael Nunn. Michael Nunn is being inducted also in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, June 5th and June 8th. And then later on in the year, the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, Michael Nunn, along with Henry Tillman, will be going in the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame in Rochester, New York. But that June 5th through the 8th event for the International Boxing Hall of Fame is just an amazing event as people merge on Canastota for this great induction event. People from all over internationally merge up there in upstate New York to meet and greet those inductees and celebrate boxing. And man, and there's going to be a fight on the 6th up in at the casino. So hey, man, it's going to be star-studded. The tickets are selling fast. So if you want to get there and show up and show out is a thing to do nowadays, and get to meet a lot of great boxing champion Bobby Ches, and man, the list is long, fine, but distinguished that are going to be up there. Randy Gordon, a longtime editor-in-chief, boxing commissioner, and all that. He's going in. So hats off to Randy Gordon for his hard work and dedication to the sport and for going into the Boxing Hall of Fame. So we're also going to take it down the road from the International Boxing Hall of Fame in September 20th at the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame in Rochester, New York. You're going to have Michael Nunn going in, and you're going to have Henry Tillman, who had wins over Mike Tyson. He stopped Mike Tyson from making it to the Olympics to try to win a Olympic medal in the Olympic tryoff there in the United States. Henry Tillman not just beat him once, he beat him twice. And as a pro, Henry Tillman fought Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson stopped him, and I was training Mike during that time. But anyway, Henry Tillman, a great fighter in his own right, is going into the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. And also Freddie Ladd, who's just coming off an induction into the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. Freddie Ladd made it to number one contender all the way across the board. And this is, like he said, this is his world championship. He won the USBA championship. Freddie Ladd did, and he had a record at one time. I think it was 42-0 with 42 knockouts. Freddie had something like that. It was magnificent. He's with his wins, and also you'll have one of the Olympic team members as an amateur getting an award from the Hall of Fame, and a doctor from the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame are getting an award, and their secretary, she's getting an award being inducted. So, man, it's going to be dynamite on September 21st with Larry Lazardi and them, who put on a great show at the Brook house. The food is, oh man, dynamite. You can't miss it. So there's still tickets on sale. You know, you can get them online at the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame website, and not only get a ticket for that, but get a ticket for being a member. You know, member having this privilege. I think the membership for the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame is only $20. So get your membership too. And then that same month in September in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, September 25th, you have the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. Ray McCline is president of that. And that's going to be a star-studded night with Julian the Hawk Jackson leading that class. And hats off to you, Julian, and congratulations for being inducted into another Hall of Fame. You should be on all of them, and God willing, you will make it into Atlantic City Hall of Fame on September 25th. So, man, no, man, I'm not going to let that forgo. Daryl Peoples with the IBF, the 40th annual convention, June 1st, June through June 5th at Caesars. The festivities for the 40th annual convention for the IBF is going to be in Atlantic City. So that's good. And with the Jersey Joe Walcott Award going to Daniel DeBoris, who is the IBF heavyweight champion, he's getting an award. And fighter of the year is Gabrielle Fedora, who just had a magnificent fight just a few weeks ago. She's getting female fighter of the year at the IBF convention. And then fight of the year for the IBF is going to be Usyk and Fury 1. Man. So, man, you got a lot of stuff going on. Again, that's June. That's June. They're ringing the bell. Almost time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The IBF awards dinner, uh, June 1st through the 5th at Caesars. Man, go down there, enjoy your time, and have a good time at the International Boxing Federation, known as the IBF, down there with Daryl Peoples, June 1st through the 5th at Caesars Palace. Man, a lot of events coming on, but there's some fights on the night on ESPN Plus. You'll have Muhammad Ali's grandson, Nico Ali Walsh, who's fighting in a middleweight fight on ESPN Plus. Tune into that. He's trying to stay on the winning streak, or get back on the winning streak, as he's fighting on ESPN Plus, Muhammad Ali's grandson. So tune in for that. But also today, not only is this Mother's Day weekend, and for those who just tuning into the World Boxing Review radio show, we want to congratulate each and every mother out there. Happy Mother's Day, as we celebrate motherhood and all of that this weekend. So happy Mother's Day to each and every one of y'all out there. Today, we're going to take it to Franklinton, North Carolina. 78 years ago, there was a great champion known as Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was the first African American heavyweight champion of the world, and he was going to coming from Texas after doing some events with the circus, and he was on his way up to see the Joe Louis fight that was happening in Madison Square Garden. And as he was coming through North Carolina up through Route 1, him and his companion, they lost control of his vehicle, swerved back and forth, left to right, and finally end up hitting a telephone pole, Jack Johnson and his companion, in June 10th, 1946. And because of segregation, they couldn't take him to a local hospital. They had to drive him from Franklin, North Carolina, to a black hospital down in Raleigh, North Carolina, which was a nursing school, also an African American nursing school in Raleigh. And Jack Johnson ended up being pronounced dead when he got there at the hospital, who was the first African American heavyweight champion. So, in the town of Franklinton, we want to not just celebrate not his death, but his life, what he meant to the world, and what he meant to boxing, being the first African American heavyweight champion. And that did happen in Franklinton, North Carolina. So thank you for tuning in to today's World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me a Hall of Fame trainer of champions as we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. Thank you for tuning in.